Hello everyone, nubkeks here and welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video it's part one of a massive two-part series where I am going to be going in. I've got this idea from Ash. Big shout out to Ash, ranking every reviver. I'm ranking every single reviver in Raid Shadow Legends. Ash broke down the top 20. I said we'll steal the idea but we'll go a step further. I might regret it, we'll see. In this video I'm going to be ranking the rare and epic revivers. The legendaries and mythicals will be in the next video, and obviously they are generally better, but a lot of these rares and epics will not only carry you in the early game, but for several factions, they'll be carrying you perhaps even to the end game of faction wars and cursed city stages and stuff like that. So yeah, they're important. Without any further ado, let's dive in. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So first of all, I've got two, I'm going to call them unreliable revivers. You could also call them like conditional revivers, perhaps. There's only two in the rares. We're going to start with the worst one. I think it is the worst reviver in the game. I didn't even remember this champion had a revive, and that's Hospitaller. Yeah, terrible champion, a bunch of stuff, which sucks, but she does have a passive revive with block damage, which is actually really good, on a 5-turn cooldown whenever Harrier kills an enemy. Probably Ash did know about this one because he loves Harrier. But yeah, needless to say, this is just absolutely terrible. You will never, ever use this champion. Next up, then, we have, over here, another conditional revive. But this one is actually quite easy to trigger, and it's actually pretty useful. But it can only easily happen once, and that's Master Butcher. So he has a passive over here on a 5-turn cooldown when booked that revives a random ally with full hit points, which is cool, when this champion is killed. So it's realistically only going to happen once in a battle, but you do get one nice free revive, which is kind of cool. So there you go. It's not reliable, but it's actually decent. So shout out to Master Butcher. Now we come to the reliable rares, the ones that just have I revive a champion on an ability. I'm going to put him, I think, in last place. This gets a little tricky, but I think Haruspex comes into last place. He's a void rare. By the way, I've got a fun bug at the moment where, like, it's not as if I've been playing the game for 5 years and never had these uncommons. I don't know what's going on with that. It's very weird. But Haruspex, he's probably the worst speed in arena battles, but he's got a 30% HP, 30% turn meter revive, and the rest of what he's doing isn't great. So I think he's probably the worst one, unfortunately. Next up, I like this guy actually a decent bit, though I've never really used him, and that's Meat Carver Talog. I think this guy's actually okay. So he's a 30% revive and 30% turn meter, but on a 4-turn, so that's significantly better, and it also puts a continuous heal on the revived ally. And then he's got a small increased defense, but continuous heal there as well. And his passive, he can replace big continuous heals with small continuous heals. So he's actually not too bad. So a nifty little rare could be kind of useful. Another little rare who could be kind of useful in 4th place is Grinner. This guy's cool. So he has a 50% HP revive with a 20% max HP shield on them on a 4-turn. So there's a much better chance that they're actually going to not be immediately killed straight after, which is a big win. Then he has an AoE buff removal, but it's not very reliable, and a little bit of an increased attack on the team. Again, not reliable. So yeah, he's okay. He has 110 base speed. I don't know. Why is Grinner one of the fastest champions in the game? I guess we'll never know. But yeah, he's okay. I would consider him and Talog to be kind of almost joint 4th. Then the top 3, I think, are champions I've actually used a lot. Funny enough, in 3rd place, maybe I should rank him higher because of this, I'm putting Gear Grinder. The reason I say I like him a lot, again, I mentioned at the start, for faction wars, you're limited to a faction, and Ogryn do not have an epic reviver. They do not have a normal affinity reviver. The only other reviver is a void legendary. So if you want a reviver for Ogryn, look no further than Gear Grinder. And I'm not joking, I use him in my stage 21 Ogryn Tribes farm team. I'm not kidding, he's in there. Which is ridiculous. I've been playing this game for like 5 years. He comes in 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Bit of a longer cooldown on a 5-turn, but it's just a good, solid revive. Quite a modern revive, actually. And then he has a heal on his A2. Not great, but it's something. And then he keeps himself alive with his A1, which is what you kind of want. You want your reviver to stay alive. So yeah, he's decent, actually, and I still use him, which is mad. Then 2 more revivers for the rares. You probably will know these. Tree Shield Knot is the first one. I think this guy is great. Speed and Faction Crypt's cool. But he revives 2 people with 25% HP and turn meter, which is weak, but he does give them a shield. So they'll stay reasonably alive. But then he's got good moves. 15% AoE heal with a small increased defense. He's got a triple hit with decreased attack on his A1, so he could be quite helpful for progressing in Fire Knight and Faction Wars and all the rest. So I think he's actually pretty solid. I'm giving him number 2. But number 1, the OG, not really because of her revive, to be fair, but Reliquary Tender, I do give the best reviver spot in the game. Her revive isn't great. It's a 30% HP turn meter on a 5 turn. It's not amazing. But what makes her amazing, really, is her A2, which is a 3-turn cooldown, full debuff removal with continuous heal. She has a decreased attack on her A1, but it's small, not reliable, not great. So yeah, I think she is the best rare reviver, but her revive itself isn't amazing. It's really a backup last resort. You're mostly using her for the debuff removal, but she is, I think, the best champion out of all of these. Like I said, the one that I use endgame the most is number 3, though, which I think is a fair rating, but that's who I use most, is Gear Grinder. And there you go. They are the rares. Now we've got the epics. There's quite a few more epics that revive, because, epics are stronger. Revive is pretty powerful. And, it's one of the most important effects in the game. We've got 4 unreliables. In last place, I'm going to put Rhine Beast. Where is Rhine Beast? He's red. There he is. So this guy, he's got a continuous heal on an ally. He can revive an ally if he kills an enemy with his A2. It's a 5-turn cooldown. Does he do lots of damage? No. No, he really doesn't. Now, he's got some okay healing and defensives, but it's just so unreliable to actually get him to revive. I think he is the worst of the unreliables. Next up is Yelagurna. I think she has a spot for some people as an unreliable reviver. Basically, on a 2-turn cooldown, she revives an ally with half HP. Now, compared to Mr. Rhine Beast, she's much better at actually killing people. She's an AoE attack. She's got a big single target. She self-buffs increased attack. If she kills somebody, bit difficult to make that trigger. You've triggered it at that point, but hey, it's there. I have seen some people use her for Faction Wars, hard even. So she's not amazing by any means, but she's okay. In second place, a champion who's a lot better, and actually pretty underrated. I think she's a great champion. It's Sachi. So she has increased attack with a 20% turn meter boost. Great move. She has a single target decreased crit rate and leech. Very helpful for bosses. And then an AoE, A1 with decreased accuracy. Give her a stun set. She's fantastic. Here's a similar thing. When she kills an enemy, revives a random ally with 30% HP, and can put fear on all enemies 50-50 when an ally is revived. So she has to kill an enemy. She's not a great damage dealer. It's a pretty terrible revive, but as a champion, there's no question she's noticeably better than those other two, which is actually really strong utility. So she's really good, and she's got like a revive that will sometimes trigger and might get you a 3-star in Faction Wars. It's okay. By far the best revive, and definitely the best of all of these champions, though, for the epics, unreliable revivers, is Ugo. So Ugo, if everyone is dead and she's the last person standing, and she does have a passive to help her do that. If everyone dies, she gets increased speed and block damage for 1 turn to try help her get back to this. But she'll revive your whole team with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. So that's extremely good, actually. It's a great revive on a 4-turn cooldown, but it's just so difficult to make this actually happen. You might use Ugo all the time and almost never see this actually happen. That being said, she is an amazing champion. It is a really strong revive if it happens, and even if you ignore this whole revive part of it, she's still one of the best and most useful epics in the game, for Hydra specifically. But yeah, there you go. They're the unreliables. Then we come in to the biggest part of the list, the bulk of the list, which is the epic standard revivers. Just, I revive someone, simple as that. Let's go. In last place, she is your free login champion when you start the game, unless there's a special promotion on, and that is Shaman. Absolutely terrible character. Doesn't have the worst base stat. She has a 50% HP revive with the shield. It's okay on a 5-turn, but small crit rate buff, terrible chance to remove a random buff. She literally does like nothing else. She's basically a 5-turn cooldown revive. she's generally just not worth using. Just put in somebody else and your team will be better. She's really a liability, but yeah, she's pretty terrible. Next up is Fang Cleric. I think he is a Dark Elf. Again, this is another champion you just never use. So he's got a general speed aura, it's okay. But he has a revive with 30% HP turn meter, but gives them unkillable and a continuous heal. So that's kind of cool. Actually pretty darn reliable at ensuring that they will take a turn. Unkillable is a great way to do it. He has some other stuff, but it's pretty terrible, like single target heal. Yeah, the rest of his kit sucks. He is just a bad champion. Again, he's barely worth using. It's a pity he doesn't get a buff, actually, because Dark Elves could use some better supports, and his revive move is not the worst. So, yeah, buff Fang Cleric sometime, raid, please. He needs it. Next up, then, another champion well, I guess you might know about those first two. Certainly you know about Shaman. You might not know about Mistress of Hymns. She is number 19, though. 2 random allies with half HP and a regular Veil on a 5 turn. It's okay. Continuous heal if she crits on 2 allies. Bit of healing there based off damage inflicted. Yikes on a reviver like this with these stats. Yeah, Mistress of Hymns, it's likely you probably will never ever use her. Next up, I might move this guy up the list for one special reason. It's Broadmaw. He's a Void Epic. He's a permanent fusion in the game, and that's generally his most useful thing to do, is to just stockpile the rares that you use to fuse Broadmaw to help you do champion chase events. He's 350 points for a champion chase. He's a Void Epic, and that's the best thing about him. He's okay. 2 dead allies with 25% HP and block damage. The block damage will help them stay alive, but yeah, he's got increased crit rate and a small increased speed and a turn meter boost. Small chance to freeze. He's just a pretty bad champion apart from that. Not very useful aside from maybe some Faction Wars normal. Maybe some Doom Tower like early progression. That's about it. Another champion up next was buffed, actually. I think she was reworked, I'm pretty sure, which is Tashada. I don't think she was a reviver originally. She is one now. So Faction Crypt Aura is good. 40% HP turn meter and then an AoE heal for your team is actually really good on a 3-turn cooldown. So Tashada, I think, is a pretty big step up. Now, she's got 3 hits at random with Weaken. She has increased defense on herself, which is nice. Helps her stay alive and actually ups her damage. Tashada is actually really not bad. I think part of the problem is you get Seal of the Drakes for this faction, so you don't really need another reviver. But yeah, Tashada, she got buffed. She's actually pretty solid. Yeah, she's pretty solid. So she's a noticeable step up. Next up then, for me, in number 16, I'm going to put Hoffaries the Tusked. I like Hoffaries a lot. They're a hippo. Hippos are cool, man. Hippos are cool. They are dangerous. Dangerous beasts. Hoffaries, not amazing. We got double revive with half HP and half turn meter and strengthen on everybody. It's actually a pretty good revive on a 5 turn. And then increase attack and increase crit rate. I do think that's a little bit awkward. Any champions that are going to really benefit from increased attack are very unlikely to need increased crit rate. A1, small chance to stun, but it's there. Hoffaries, again, not bad. It's a very solid revive, which is the main thing that you're using her for or him for. Not too amazing apart from that. Next up is a Knights Revenant, I believe. Probably a champion very few people use because Rector Drath is so common. We'll get to her. But Malkith Bloodflock. He's a relatively new champion, as you can probably tell from his visuals being quite crisp. I think he's okay. So he comes in with a double revive, 30% HP turn meter, but does give them a shield equal to 30% of his max HP. He doesn't have the best max HP, but you could stack it up with gear and make this a pretty decent shield, so it's okay keeping people alive. He does have an AoE that can decrease enemy buffs and increase ally buffs, which is pretty cool. Increasing ally buffs is great. This is like a Godseeker type move, which is good. His A1 can steal a buff. He's not bad. Obviously, I think he's just not as good as Rector Drath, so he's unlikely to be used, but he's got some stuff going on. I think he's not terrible. He's okay. Next up, a champion many people might get by referring themselves. It's Jamarsa. Not too amazing. Definitely not a must-have champion by any means. I'm putting her as number 14 on the epic list, but she does have an AoE revive. It's on a 5-turn, 30% HP and turn meter. It's weak, but it is a full team revive that's guaranteed. And she does have a heal with a bit of a turn meter boost, but it's pretty weak. She can sleep on her A1, but it's pretty weak. Her passive is cool. 20% chance to decrease the cooldown of a skill. That's nifty. Not reliable, but it's nifty. She's okay. You might use her in a couple of Cursed City stages. She's not great. She competes with Syl of the Drakes as well. Definitely not a must-have champion. Number 14. Number 13. A champion I have used as well in Faction Wars Hard even is Dur the Hungerer. Where is Dur? I am blind. There he is. He's over here. Dur is decent. So he comes in with a double revive with half HP turn meter on a 4 turn. It's a solid revive. Then he comes in with a reflect damage buff and a continuous heal, and then a heal as well. Reflect damage is just mostly useless. It's mostly useless in Raid, I'm afraid to say. It's just sort of one of those forgotten buffs that it's a pain in the butt when you're fighting against it. Like if the Hydra gets reflect damage, you are in trouble. But for you to use it, it's kind of worthless, unfortunately. But a heal, but a continuous heal is okay. And then he's a small chance to stun on his A1, which is decent as well. So yeah, he's not a bad champion. There's a few really good legendary revivers in Demon Spawn, but I, for example, personally don't have them. So he is my best revive option for this faction, and I have used him for that, which is where a lot of these epics will fall. You just don't have the legendary reviver or the mythical reviver. The epics are your next best option, and you might be using these a lot. In number 12, I'm going to put Kaiden. So Kaiden comes into a faction which, again, we've talked about. It's quite lacking, I think, in supports. The Dark Elves, it's difficult to keep them alive. They tend to be quite squishy. So yeah, he comes in, 2 revives, 50% HP, and increased defense. Not the best, not the worst. 4 turn cooldown is good, half HP. Increased defense, not amazing, and it is only for 1 turn. But he does have an AoE decrease attack, which is actually very reliable. And his A1 has a small chance to provoke, which is okay as well. So yeah, Kaiden, he's pretty decent. He is probably the most reliable and easy to get reviver from the faction. We do have, I think, better revivers in here. Rian, we'll talk about Rian in a bit. But Kaiden is just sort of naturally tankier, a bit easier to keep alive. In number 11, we have, for the Sylvan Watchers, Wiranon the Silken. Yep, this champion, I think she's okay. You got the Faction Crypt aura, which is great. You have a single target revive, 50% HP, 30% turn meter, and a continuous heal. So it's decent, though, you know, you'd like to see the turn meter being a bit higher, I suppose, with continuous heal so they can take a turn and actually get healed. But she has a 4 turn cooldown, 15% turn meter boost with 30% increased speed, which is good. I feel like this should really be a 3 turn cooldown. I feel like the 4 turn is a bit rough for a reviver. Like Apothecary has this move on a 3 turn cooldown, and he's a rare. Now, he's an exceptional rare, but yeah, still. She has a decreased attack on her A1, which is decent. It's like a big upgrade, also called Silken Spontoon, which is hilarious. But it's an upgrade over Reliquary Tender. But yeah, she's okay. She's okay. Kind of held back a bit by the cooldown. Solid champion, though. Number 11. In number 10, we're getting to the top 10 for epics. And number 10 is going to be Melga Steelgirdle. I've used this champion quite a bit, especially back in the day. Before several of these champions were ever released, she was very, very helpful. So she has double revive, only 20% HP and turn meter, which is weak, but she does give them a shield equal to 30% of their max HP. It's not the best on a 5 turn, but she does come in with a 20% of her max HP shield, and she's got very high max HP. So this will be a very good shield with a continuous heal as well. And she can remove some debuffs on her A1. She's decent. She's not bad. Yeah, it's a very, very big shield. She's got a little bit of healing. The revive is okay. She's mostly about the shielding, but she is solid. She's a useful champion. She makes it top 10. In number 9, I think a champion a lot of people might use for a good long while is Old Hermit York. This guy's a great little turn meter booster. He's got increased attack with a 20% turn meter boost. He's like a mini Arbiter before you get Arbiter, or if you want to build multiple teams. Lacks a speed aura. His base speed's not as high, but this is solid. And he's got a burn on his A1 as well, which is quite useful for progressing through lots of bosses in the game for a bit of extra damage. And then he's got 2 revives, or a double revive, on 60% HP, 40% turn meter, and Perfect Veil. And that's a 5 turn cooldown. It's definitely one of the better revives that we've seen. A bit more HP, and actually quite decent turn meter. And the Perfect Veil is lovely. They can't be directly targeted, so this is very effective at keeping people alive, and it gives you a bit of damage reduction as well. So not too bad at all. Actually, all 3 of his skills are really good. So he's Number 9 and earning his spot in the top 10 for sure. In number 8, we mentioned her already. It's Rian the Conjurer, guaranteed champion from Doom Tower Normal. Visually super cool. There's a lot of like synergies with Akoth and Euros that you'll basically never use and never see, which is quite sad, really, and it definitely holds Rian back a bit. I mean, it's the whole like she's got the Euros dagger, and she's got the I guess it's not a dagger, what, a scepter or something? Maybe it is a dagger, flame dagger. I don't know. She's got the Akoth one as well. It's the whole theme for Doom Tower, and it was never realized. But I love like the lighting effects. It's sick, super cool. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling a bit. She is good. 50% HP, 50% turn meter and block debuffs. It's decent on a 4 turn. It's okay. This is a great move as well. Full buff removal with weaken is solid, and then block buffs pretty reliably on the A1. So Rian is decent. Not absolutely bonkers, but quite decent. Certainly usable. I actually use Rian in my Dark Elves Faction Wars team because that buff removal is actually really, really solid for getting some good extra damage out. In number 7, this one might be controversial. I'm going to put Cardinal in number 7. Now, if you are a PvP hardcore player only, Cardinal is amazing for PvP. She has a brilliant revive. 5-turn cooldown, full team revive, 25% max HP heal, but maximum turn meter. This is very unique. This is sort of like a relic of an old wording in the game where turn meter, you could have champions that say will revive with 100% turn meter, like a Sun Wukong or Raglan can revive people with 100% turn meter. Turn meter can go above 100%. It's just some weird stuff in how the game works. You can have more than 100% turn meter. It's weird. What they do now, this turn meter to max, if this was the modern game, it would be like revive the champions and give them an instant turn. Something like that. We now have instant turns and extra turns. This is really old. There's no new champions that have anything like this whatsoever. But that's basically what it does. She'll revive your team and then give them a go one by one. They will have maximum turn meter. They will basically go straight away. So that's really cool. So she does have a good place in Arena. Build her high resistance in Stone Skin. Let the rest of your team die. She survives and then revives your whole team and they get a turn. So it's a very sneaky Arena strategy. It's been around for a long time and it remains relevant to this day. Like if you struggle against bomb champions, for example, this can be a way to fight back. That being said, her A2, kind of terrible, and her A1, also kind of terrible. She's just not really doing anything apart from this. She's like a one-trick pony, and she's okay, but there's also lots of other revivers in Sacred Order. So yeah, you use her for Arena, but you basically won't use her anywhere else. So Arena one trick, to me, the other epics are just a bit more generally useful. So I'm putting her number 7, which is harsh, but I'm doing it. Let me know in the comments how much you hate me. I'm putting Sabbatha Dawncaller or Dawncaller Sabbatha in 6th place. I think, again, she's actually very, very generally helpful. So a 4-turn cooldown, 25% HP revive. Here we go, 100% turn meter. It's not as good as max. It's not an instant turn, but they'll get their turn pretty quickly. But it gives block damage for 2 turns. It's kind of insane, actually. What a revive. So they're almost ready to get their turn straight away. They've got block damage to protect them. And then even after they take that turn, which they'll take pretty darn quickly, they'll still have block damage for another turn. So very good at keeping people alive when she revives them. Increased defense and increased attack on a 3-turn. Healing on the A1. And then when she revives an ally, she decreases one of her own skills by 1 turn. So helps her to get back to the revive or get back to her boost a bit faster. I think she's a brilliant character. She's bringing you a lot of stuff. It's just such a solid revive. So for me, she's number 6. I think very useful for new players in particular. In number 5 then, this might be a bold choice putting him so high, but I think he deserves it. It's Gorgrab. He was probably called Budget Arbiter back in the day. 23% ally speed and Arena Aura is really good. 15% turn meter boost and increased attack. His revive is really solid though. It's a full team revive on a 5-turn. 25% HP, but then it heals them for another 25%. So you don't get any turn meter from this revive, but it's still full team. You can even just use this as a heal if you want to. His A1 is okay, but you probably don't build accuracy, so it probably doesn't even work. But yeah, Gorgrab quite useful in Arena. Unlike Arbiter, he was often called like Budget Arbiter. The problem, his base speed sucks. So Arbiter, really good to build super fast because she's got amazing base speed. Brilliant. His base speed sucks. You're just not going to be able to build him as fast as, I don't know, even like an apothecary will be much faster because of higher base speed. And his turn meter boost, not the best, but still, I think he's really solid. And again, for undead, unless you get Sifi, or I suppose Heraclites as well, you're just really lacking, or Theodosia now, I guess, these days. So they've added Heraclites and Theodosia to other revive or pseudo revive in his Heraclites case. Revivers to this faction recently, but Gore Grab is still likely to be used for a long time. I've seen lots of people use him in Faction Wars Hard because of it. I do think he's solid. I think he's solid early game. And yeah, maybe I've rated him a little bit too. I guess out of all of them, I could easily see him going down a few notches, but I put him at number 5 for now. Maybe I regret it a little bit actually now, but hey, it's too late. We're firing ahead with the video. Tagore is up next. We're into the top 4. Tagore doesn't quite make top 3, but he's number 4 for me. 30% AoE revive with a shield, equal to 20% of his max HP. He's got good max HP. It's going to be a solid shield, so that's nice. He also gives you damage reduction when your health is low, so it will help you stay alive even more. Then he has an AoE attack with increased speed and a heal based off of his max HP, and then a little increased defense on his A1. It's a really solid kit. The heal on the A2 ends up being much stronger than you think. He's a reliable increased speed character, which is hard to get from epics, and it is a team revive. He is fantastic. So yeah, Tagore, number 4, he is amazing. It's hard to think. Could there be better revivers than this? Well, yes, I think there are 3 that beat him ever so slightly. In 3rd spot, Godseeker Aniri. This is a great champion, so she has a single target revive, half HP and turn meter, but fully resets the cooldown of their skills. She also has a passive revive. When an ally is about to be killed by a fatal hit on a 4 turn, preempts the hit, puts revive on death. So I'm not counting revive on death generally in this, but it's worth noting at least with her. She is probably infamous for duo Sand Devil teams. Not as important anymore since they nerfed Sand Devil, but it's a viable strategy where you let her die. She revives herself with revive on death if you put her in the lead position and she dies, even though she doesn't have an aura. And then she comes back up and revives whoever, Ninja, for example. Ninja comes back with his abilities reset and he can nuke the Sand Devil with his burns. Pretty cool. She also has got a good AoE heal on her A2 that's increasing ally buffs and decreasing enemy buffs as well. And then her A1 is healing your lowest health ally as well. She's a really solid character. She can do some decent damage. I think she's a really useful Void Reviver. And specifically the full reset of cooldowns and this Revive on Death opens up some pretty cool strategies that for me make her number 3. In number 2, probably my personal favorite, but I do think there's one that's slightly stronger than her, but Rector Drath for me is number 2. So 60% HP, 60% turn meter, 4 turn cooldown, and 3 turns of Perfect Veil. So they're very protected. On top of that, her Perfect Veil is giving you 50 extra resistance, and whenever you take a turn, you get healed an additional 10% max HP. Absolutely fantastic. Then she's got a team heal that can also put out Perfect Veil, which again is more healing and resistance. Her A1 decrease attack. Often you don't build her with accuracy. You won't see this work, but she is great. She has the Doom Tower resistance aura as well. You can get over 100 resistance just from this champion from her aura and passive for Doom Tower if you want to make that work. Amazing base stats. Yeah, Rector is fantastic. Perfect Veil in particular is needed for some Chimera trials, and it's needed to help against the Head of Torment in Hydra as well. And there's very few champions that are accessible to use Perfect Veil. I actually was using Rector Drath in one of my Hydra teams up until very recently because she was simply the best Perfect Veil champion I had, which is bonkers, but it's true. So yeah, there you go. Rector Drath, very solid. You'll probably use her for a very long time. She is available, obviously, to buy as a new player from whatever the new player pass is called. I think she might be 10 or 20 bucks. Yeah, I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. It's up to you whether you want to spend 10 or 20 bucks for an epic champion or at all. You might just prefer to play for free. But there's no question that she's an amazing reviver, especially as an epic champion. Competes even against some of the legendaries, I would say. And yeah, she's number 2 in the epics for me. But number 1 is a Void epic, and it's going to be Ursula the Mourner. I think she deserves to be number 1 overall. She's got a lot of good stuff going on. A great Doom Tower speed aura, which is cool. But she comes in with an AoE revive on a 5 turn with 75% HP, 50% turn meter, increased defense, and Strengthen on a 3-turn. You can use this move even if you don't want to revive people just for the buffs, because they are really good buffs. But yeah, it's an amazing revive. It's super, super good. On top of that, she has increase attack and AoE decrease attack. And because she's void, this is very, very consistent. And then her A1 can decrease turn meter a bit. She's just got it's just a useful kit, really useful for a reviver. The one thing she does lack, obviously, is healing for your team. That is going to be a weakness. She has no healing. She's no self-healing. So keeping your team alive and topped up, you're going to need to find that somewhere else. But she just brings so much utility, especially the increase attack and AoE decrease attack is very useful. And you're going to want this on a lot of teams. And then it's such a good AoE revive. So she gets number 1 for me. I will say, it's a close call between her and Rector Drath for me. It's a pretty close call. And then like Godseeker and Tagore are really good too. And like they're the ones that they're definitely the top 4 stand out to me as being just spectacular. And I think I did overrate Gore Grab a little bit, but hey, it's too late now. There we go. Guys, they are every single, we've even finished my multi-battles in that time. Amazing. Every single rare and epic champion in the game that can revive, whether reliably or not, rated and ranked. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with my rankings? Was I way off on any of them? Who's your favorite rare reviver? Who's your favorite epic reviver? Are you like me, an endgame player? It's like using Gear Grinder, using a rare in Faction Wars Hard or something like that. Anything like that, let me know in the comments. But there you go. They are my top picks for epic and rare revivers. Hopefully it was helpful, and I will see you next time for the mythicals and the legendaries. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.